What's going on, Bully fam? It's your boy, the educator, the scientist, Mr. Double Muscle Line Bulls, bringing you a quick episode of Breeders' Hacks. So I got a puppy here off of the Supreme to Diva litter. He's a little backed up. I thought right now would be the perfect time to shoot an episode showing how to stimulate puppies to go to the bathroom, because if the mother doesn't, you need to do it, as well as showing how to deal with puppies that are constipated. So we're going to cover those things today, and hopefully this is helpful to you guys. A little bit of background information. Puppies need to use the bathroom either before or after every feeding, especially until they can go on their own. This puppy, he can pretty much go on his own to the bathroom, but I'm still going to show this to you guys for educational purposes. So, as I said, if the mother isn't licking them and making them go to the bathroom, peeing and pooing, especially pooing, you have to now do that. So you're going to have to throw some gloves on, and this is what I do to make the puppies go to the bathroom. So you're going to go ahead and grab a paper towel, right? And turn on the water. I already have it on. And you're gonna want just some warm water, you know, because now what you have to do is simulate the mother's tongue, essentially, you know. So I'll go ahead, put some water on, and now all you're going to do is hold the puppy and wipe right where their genitals are, you know. And for me, I just lightly wipe. I don't know if you can see. I lightly wipe. You know, and you have to be careful with what material you use, because certain things can wind up giving them rashes or, you know, things like that. So I just often go softly with the wet paper towel, and it'll stimulate them to go. I don't think he's really got to go, but you're going to do, you know, like I said, both spots, where they poo and where they pee, you know, and you're just going to go ahead and use the paper towel and simulate as if it was the mother, you know. So you're just going to do that, get them to go. Like I said, he goes on his own, so I'm really just kind of showing you guys more for like educational purposes. He's already a little bit older. Usually up until they're like 2-3 weeks, they'll start going on their own. But until then, it's your job, you know. So like I said, that's pretty much what you're going to do, guys. He doesn't really have to go. Sometimes what I'll even do is I'll even kind of put them, you know, I'll run some water under. And since I have the gloves on, even just use the glove, you know what I'm saying? And that often helps as well. And you're going to just kind of have to play around in the sense that, like, I start from one genitalia to the other in a swiping motion, you know, whether with the paper towel or with the glove on, and it'll usually cause them to go, you know? Like I said, I think this little guy's tank is empty. So what we do next, though, is the next issue is, what if the puppy isn't going and you're stimulating them to go? You're going to want to do this for a few minutes, but like I said, he can go on his own. I've seen him do it. I'm comfortable with him doing it. I just wanted to show you guys how to do it, especially with newborn puppies, if the mother isn't stimulating them to go. Because what will happen is, if you don't let them go to the bathroom, if you don't make them, they can't go on their own. They have to be stimulated to go. So if you don't, then what happens is that can stay inside of the puppy, turn septic, and kill the puppy. You know, the puppies can die and get sick. So that's why you do that. So like I said, yeah, he really don't got nothing in his tank. But what we'll do next is, what if the puppy isn't going, and we know that the puppy needs to go? So one thing that I'm going to do right now that can't hurt him is an enema. So now, we tried stimulating the puppy wouldn't want to go. This is the next thing you're going to do. Grab a syringe, and you're going to fill it up with some water. Remember, make sure the water is relatively warm, because it's going inside of the puppy. So I'm just taking a little bit here, a little bit of water. Let's see, let me get some more in there. There we go. All right, so I'm taking a couple cc's of water, push the air out. And now what I'll do with a 3 cc syringe like this, and yet again, it all depends on the size of the puppy. So a smaller puppy, I'll give a little bit less. I kind of eyeballed this more or less, but I'll take some water and go ahead and push it up right against their butt, and go ahead and push that in. One sec, there you go, and push it right in. It's gonna go right in. You see, it didn't go anywhere. It's gonna go right in. And now, when you go ahead and try to stimulate them, and I don't know if he's gonna go because I didn't give him a lot, but when you go ahead and stimulate them to go to the bathroom, it's gonna flush everything out, you know, and that's what's called an enema. So some dogs, the way you know if you gave them enough is if they, like I said, push it all out when you're stimulating them. And sometimes what helps too is massaging the stomach, you know what I'm saying? I'll massage the stomach, you know what I'm saying, and that'll help to try to get them to push, you know what I'm saying? A constipated puppy, you want to address that very quickly, and an enema is the best way to do it. So, like I said, I'm not really concerned because I did see him go this morning, so I'm not going to, keep pushing the issue. He was a little backed up. He's kind of coming out of it now, so I just have an eyeball for it. But like I said, you can massage the puppy, keep getting them to stimulate them, and then if you've tried everything and the puppy hasn't gone, especially when they're newborn puppies and they're not going on their own, give them an enema. Like I said, a couple cc's. Go ahead, push it up right to their butt and flush the water right in, and that will cause them to be able to flush out whatever they got in there and can potentially save the puppy's life. So, all right, guys, I just figured I'd show you this as educational purposes, and hopefully in another few weeks I'll have some newborn puppies that I could really show you guys this with. But all right, guys. So just some background information. Like I said, when you're trying to stimulate these puppies to go, it can take a few minutes. You know what I'm saying? It can take a while. They might not just go right away. Some may not. So you definitely got to be mindful of that. Also, just be mindful. Watch your puppies. Make sure they're going to the bathroom. That's one of the key things as well, too. You know what I'm saying? Watch and make sure the mother is stimulating them to go, as well as making sure that they're going. If they're straining, things like that, an enema is going to help. And if you catch it early enough, it'll save you from really having to deal with a real massive headache. You know what I'm saying? If you catch it early enough. For me, I've gotten to a point that I have a pretty good eye for it. So, like I said, the minute I see something, and in all honesty, an enema really can't hurt them if you just want to hit them with a quick enema to flush them out. You know what I'm saying? If you do it for too long, over an extended period amount of time, then you may have issues with them not wanting to go to the bathroom on their own and things like that. So definitely be mindful of that. But that's like if you're doing it, a lot, like for a long amount of time. So anyway, just some other things I wanted to touch on real quick. What's so great about an enema too is that their body does absorb some of the water that you're putting into them. So it's also good because what happens is when you're dealing with constipated puppies, you run the issue of dehydration. Dehydration is something you're always concerned about when it comes to newborn puppies because it is a lethal killer. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want them to get dehydrated, especially like if the puppy isn't going to the bathroom. Signs will also tell you that the puppy's not really eating. The puppy may be lethargic, things like that. So you definitely want to be mindful of that. And like I said, once you see that, that's when you're going to go ahead and step in. Or if you just see that the mother's not stimulating them to go, same as well. So just some things I wanted to show you guys real quick is, for example, if you're doing the enemas, right, you can use water. But if you're dealing with a very constipated puppy, then this is amazing and will help a lot. Mineral oil. Mineral oil will lube them up on the inside, which will make things a lot easier to come out. Mineral oil. So just the same way with the syringe where you put in their butt for water, you're going to go ahead and give them a little bit of mineral oil. And like I said, massage the stomach, help them to get that, all that backed up stuff out. So mineral oil, I always have bottles of this on standby. As well as you can give a little bit, to them orally through the mouth. And, that will go through the gut because this is like a natural diuretic, I believe. It's a natural laxative. So mineral oil is great to have on standby when having puppies. Something else as well, Pedialyte. When you're dealing with a constipated puppy that may be lethargic, that may be, not eating as much, things like that, you want to make sure you don't have dehydration issues. The constipation can spiral into dehydration. Dehydration can spiral into the loss of, the sugars, things like that. It's just, oh my God, you want to avoid that. So having Pedialyte on a standby is good. Give them a little bit orally, and this will help. You're not going to give this like an enema. You're just going to give this to them orally, as well as, NutriCal, if they're anybody who whelps puppies, you should have this. Anybody who's gonna have a litter, you should have this. Even if you just have a dog, you'd have this. And with NutriCal, the thing is like, especially if the puppy's lethargic and they're not eating, you know, you get a nice spoon, I don't want to say a spoonful, but I get a nice glob on my finger, you know what I'm saying? About the size of, I would say like a little less than the size of a penny. And I'll go ahead and put that on the roof of their mouth, you know? And this is a high calorie paste, which will just keep their calories up, because especially if they're not eating, you want to make sure that they're still getting nutrients, because yet again, you don't want them to go into a caloric deficit. So that's the NutriCal. That's just to make sure that they're still getting nutrients and eating, even when they're lethargic and maybe don't want to eat. So the last thing is now for the opposite. Let's just say you have puppies that have extreme diarrhea. This is great for that. Pumpkin, you know, puree. You give them a little bit of this on the roof of their mouth, and it will bind it up and you know, give you more harder stools. If they're constipated, you don't give them this. Like I said, this is just for if the puppies are actually in reverse and they have diarrhea. This is great for that, pumpkin. So this is just some of the things I just wanted to show you guys real quick. I hope this is helpful. Like, share, and subscribe. And, you know, also, hey, drop a comment if you want to let me know what's the next episode you'd like to see. So anyway, all right, guys, I hope this information was helpful, and I'll see you guys on the next episode of Breeders Hacks.